Hello, this is Taylor for CSC 110. This is quiz number 6. Question number 1, I started by importing the random module, and then I started my function for roll 4, which will return a list of a roll of fair dice 4 times. So I started by putting in my 4 range, range in 4, because I'm doing it 4 times, and then I use the random module's randint to randomly select numbers 1 through 6, and then I have all of this bracketed and assigned to L, which is going to be my list, and then it returns that list. And then to show that, we're going to do execute the for roll 8 times. So I have for range, it's going to print it out 8 times. Okay, and as you can see here, my 4 numbers in the list, that happens 8 times. Okay, for question number 2, I'm going to run that one. Okay, so for this one, I started by initializing 2 different counters at 0. The first one is going to count how many times the roll count, which is the sum of all these numbers in the list, is greater than 20. And then the second count is going to show me if it is less than 15. So I started by doing my range, so we're going to roll the dice 100 times, and then I assigned the sum of the numbers in the list here to x, and then if x is greater than 20, it will add the count to count 1. If it is less than 15, it'll add to count 2 and print it here. So for my first random roll, the sums were greater than 23 times, and they were less than 15 55 times. Question number 3 is very similar to this question number 2 here. I have my counters initialized, but this time I'm going to see if the sums are greater than 20 or if they are greater than 21. So I'll run that one. Okay, so same thing, we're starting with our range 100 because we're rolling 100 times. We're assigning the variable x to the sum of the roll, and then it's a little different here because these are not mutually exclusive. So I have if x is greater than 20, we're going to add to the count 1. If it is greater than 21, we will add to the count 2. And then it prints it out here, so it was greater than 20 twice, but it wasn't greater than 21 at all for that one. And then just to kind of further explain this, so this question number 2, these are mutually exclusive, meaning x can't be greater than 21 and also be less than 15 at the same time. So when it goes through this, first it passes through this first if, and then depending on whether or not it wants to go through that, or it'll either count to 1 or it'll move on to this next one, and then it'll either count to 2 or not. So like for example, if x was 17, it wouldn't go for either of these, but if it was 21, it would stop here, or if it was 13, it would come down here and add to this one. And then for question 3, this one is not mutually exclusive, meaning that they can happen at the same time. So I used 2 if statements, so it counts them separately. So like if x equals 50, okay, that's more than 20, so it'll count it, but it'll also continue onto this next if statement, and it'll say, okay, it's also greater than 21, so we'll count it for count 2 as well. And then I have my explanation down here.